Yeah, are there any questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, you mentioned something about making a difference. Could you elaborate on that?
Sure.
What makes it?
Let's make a distinction. There's what makes a difference in your experience, and then there's what makes a difference in our experience. And those are two different things, and people don't notice that. See, your experience is totally and completely based on our experience. Your whole worldview is based on what we share. All of reality is based on what you and I share as humanity, as a culture, as a subculture, whatever. See, all the beliefs, the assumptions, the what we take for granted, the values, the views, the perspective, and what's real, what's not real. There's a huge gamut. Anyway, read some of my books. Okay, there's a lot. All right. See, and we share that stuff, and we don't know we share that stuff, and we don't know all of that is invented. We don't know all of the values, beliefs, assumptions, perspectives, all of that's invented. It doesn't occur out of the blue. God didn't say, let there be this value. You and I did. All right? And if we said, let there be that value, if it was shared by all of us, would be the value we live within. You following me? See, these are not, random, okay? And they're not made up by each individual. On the other hand, there's how you live your life and how you experience things yourself, mostly yourself, which you've got to get over that. In any case, you see, you have those things, and what makes a difference in that domain, as I was mentioning, is questioning. If we all shared questioning, we would have a different reality here. No question about it. The whole fucking world would be a different world, see, a different world experience. Yeah? If we shared that value, like we can imagine, for example, if we think back, in different times in culture, right? I mean, think about in the Western culture, think about, the Greeks and their philosophy and what it might have been like to live with the skeptics and the philosophers of the time, Socrates and Aristotle, and that kind of thinking and that view, that import on what they were doing in democracy, etc. These were all new realities that weren't shared by most of the world. But you can see how that would probably make a real difference in those people that were up to that, you see? And then the Romans, etc., and what they were up to. And then consider also what was happening with the Dark Ages. When basically the barbarians destroyed the Romans, okay, and then, didn't know shit about anything that the Romans have created and invented, their values, their morality, the Senate, the Republic, none of that. The good news is also the emperors, which, went down a dark road. But in any case, so, that's probably why they fell. Something to think about. In any case, what were the values of the Dark Ages? What were the values, say, of the knights and the castles, and the slaughter? What were the values of witches? And, Christianity and crusades and Inquisition. And, these were different values and different perspectives of life. Not that there weren't still lots of, human values that were shared throughout. I am here, you are there, we are people, we live inside a world, blah, 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 we have language, all that. Those continued. See, but these other values, they made a big difference in life, didn't they? And then the Renaissance, as I mentioned, you see? And that got us out of the Dark Ages. Oh, a different way of thinking and participating in science and, discovery and learning and questioning. See? Became important. And art and all this became important. See? And then that was shared by a lot of people, and it had to influence, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we see over and over again. And those are just sort of, if we consider like the shared reality in which we live, like what I'm talking about, like if this is the shared reality, I don't know if you can see all this, anyway, see, but it is like that. I'm just talking about this much. Okay? I'm talking about what's influenced, and more or less superficially, like in a culture, in a civilization, and how it tilts this way and that way, This stuff is solid. And nobody even notices that stuff. But, through this work we do. And in some of my new books, it's definitely going to be addressed, But in any case, that makes a difference. So what I was saying about what makes a difference is what we all share. If we don't share it, ergo, we don't live it. See, like for example, language. If language isn't shared, we don't talk to each other. It has to be shared. Yeah? Do you get it your way? No. You can say what you want, but you don't get the fact of language your way. I have to speak these words in the English language, otherwise you don't get it. And if I were speaking French, you would only grasp what I'm saying if you understood French. But since I don't speak French very well, I can't do that, you see? So we don't get to share it, See, if we didn't have any language at all, we would share nothing at all, or civilization, etc. See, so in any case, I'm just saying, if you want something to make a difference in our shared reality, it has to be shared. Okay? We have to all, pretty much, or most of us, accept these and share them as a part of our reality. Now, that's a high bar, of course, and only, like I said, the only individuals that really make a difference or made a difference are the ones that create something or invent something or discover something that we all share now, and it makes a difference in our lives. So even if it's just a way of thinking, a way of looking at something, or something, physical or, whatever. And it makes a difference in our lives. See? Once that is shared by all of us, boom, we have now that is part of our reality. Yeah, in the back, you had something.
Well, it was just before you said like the core stuff. I'm assuming you said the stuff that doesn't change, it's solid. I'm assuming that's just core assumptions. Like I'm here, you're there.
Assumptions, inventions, creations that create, right, our reality, our perception, our thinking, our interpretation.
Stuff we don't look at.
Perceiving. No, we don't look at it. We live it. This whole reality here. Everything.
Yeah.
See, we live. I know we think we're walking around and just observing a reality, but we're not. We're interpreting a reality, and collectively we're creating a reality. It's a difficult subject because nobody knows this stuff. nobody talks about this stuff, you see. But in simple, more like psychological terms, you can see, like, again, if we get like more superficial, you're walking down the street and you see an asshole. See? How did they become an asshole? Well, you interpret their behavior, their movement, their speech, whatever is going on. You interpret whatever it is you're perceiving as that's an asshole. I know that's, a bad person, that's an asshole. See, but that doesn't occur without you, okay? You have to do it. And then, asshole doesn't exist. Maybe you're too prone, or maybe you have a tendency to see lots of assholes in the world, okay? See, that's based on some kind of assumption you have about people, reality, etc. You see? Or maybe you're a fucking saint and you see lots of wonderful people in the world, you see, and loving beings that maybe haven't quite achieved, I don't know, enlightenment yet or whatever, see, whatever it is, you see, like that. And again, see, that's something you're doing. So you can see the difference between that and something else, see, when you're walking down the street. Somebody's going to see the very same things differently than you are because of your interpretations. Still, both will be based on what we all share, human-wise. There is such a thing as an asshole. There is such a thing as love. There is such a thing as, whatever it is we're talking about. See, those are more fundamental assumptions than our sort of psychological interpretations of what's going on in circumstance around us. But you see how it makes a difference, you see, to you personally. And then imagine that being collective, as if there's, I never speak about it this way, but as if there's a collective mind. I don't like that idea. I think it runs down too many wrong roads. But see, there's like what we all share, and that determines our reality. And it's a lot. The whole domain of self-survival is completely shared, right down to the nitty-gritty, and we don't even know that this here, see, this, everything, see, ooh, this is that, this is self-survival, this is that, this is existing in that. Anyway, there we go. Anything else? Yes, sir.
Can you talk about those quotes?
Yeah, sure. The Einstein quote was, staying with the problem longer. See? It's not that I'm so much smarter than anyone else. It's that I stay with the problem longer, and I can very much relate to that. See, most people, they can't stay with the problem very long at all. I mean, seriously, come on. I could be wrong, and maybe most people elude my perception. But as far as all the thousands and millions of people I've seen, okay, and I've been teaching for a very, 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 very long time. Okay, you can see how old I am, right? I've been teaching since I was a child. And most people drop things right away, and for some reason, I don't know why, even when I was a child, I was very dogged. I could stay with a question and stay with the question, stay with the question, stay with the question, keep wondering about it, and that produced fruit. That made a big difference, And then, of course, as I grew, that quality remained, and, I could stay with something, training something or questioning something. It's just stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. I think the key ingredient there is I really want to know whatever, or I really want to accomplish, and if I haven't accomplished or I don't know, I don't stop. You see? That produces staying with the problem longer. So you stay with it, 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 stay with it. Do you know yet? Nope. Okay, keep going. Can you do it yet? Nope. Okay, keep going. Come on, how do it? What is it? So there's that. Staying with the problem longer, and that's an important thing, It's called contemplation, really, or whatever, persistence, if you like, Yeah. So, I recommend that. See, now as far as the Kant quote, yeah, I love the quote, but I understand. See, it's translation for one thing, in a couple hundred years ago, or a few hundred years ago, whatever, and from another language, and it's also another time. See, so these things, it's different. The way things are worded is different. But again, act only according to the maxim by which you can at the same time will that it should become a universal law. Now, you can kind of get that, right? Say, so like I say, when you adopt a principle, for example. So I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm not saying it's exactly what he's talking about. When you adopt a principle, it influences how you think, how you see things, how you perceive things, and how you act and behave. See, how you relate to stuff to some degree. So, for example, if you adopt a principle of honesty or integrity or honor, you see, then these dominate how you behave in relationship to others and yourself, Say what you think. Are you being honest with yourself? Are you being honest with others, you see? Are you, serving the principle? And if you serve the principle, then your experience of yourself and your relationship to other things are influenced by that principle, isn't it? See, well, try it. Most people don't even try that. They operate out of assumptions, and beliefs, and they definitely about their own self-importance, as if that's a principle worth operating out of, and it's not. In any case, you see, when you adopt a principle like that, it changes your experience, you see. So now imagine adopting a principle or a maxim in which all of your actions, all of your behavior are determined by what you would have be universally true. Not just true for you and not just true for this immediate circumstance, you see, but true always, for everybody. That's a high bar, you see. It's like, well, wait a minute. Whoa. What's that principle in which everything I do, I would have all of humanity do? Base all of their actions on whatever it is I do, kind of thing. I don't mean they follow in my footsteps. I'm saying that I do only what I consider worthy of it being universally applied to everybody. Now you can see how that would probably rule out 99.9% of everything you do. Seriously. Certainly everything you think and all your emotions, etc., right? Because those are usually done just for you, and it doesn't matter, you don't even consider universally how this would apply. And then there's probably a lot of stuff that you do, behave, think, etc., that you think, oh my God, no. I wouldn't want that to be a universal law, you see, for all of humanity. Anyway, I think it's a pretty high bar. I would like to meet Mr. Kant and see if he achieved that.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider joining a workshop. They're more powerful than you think.